Robbie from AFTV, thanks for joining me, mate.
That's good to be here, man.
Premier League kicks off tomorrow, Sunday, at home to Arsenal. How are you feeling heading into the game?
I'm feeling excited, man. To be honest, right, probably about a month ago, I wasn't really looking that forward to the season because, you know, there was so much doom and gloom around Arsenal. You know, we've been having similar problems with our owners like what you've been having, but I have to say, this transfer window, the owners have stepped up to the plate. I mean, they've brought in some good signings. Even some of the players that they were after, that I think they were genuinely after, like Zaha and stuff like that. I think they've done excellent transfer business. They're under a lot of pressure, and they sort of said to the fans, be patient, we put a new system in place, we're operating differently to how we've done previously. And fans were very sceptical, but they have delivered in the transfer market, and the way in which they've moved aggressively, that they've managed to nick Nicolas Pepe under the nose of like loads of big clubs, and that, I'm like, wow, all right. You know what I mean? So
what happened to the 40 million budget, like?
There's two. I've got two theories around it. Theory one is that they did have a £40 million budget, and that they were under a lot of pressure because the fans, they knew the fans were angry, and then they've gone to the owners and said, listen, we need more money.
But the letter and the stuff in America, you did
there's the petition that was out there. There was the fact that when we was over in America, you know what I mean, the owners couldn't hide because we were at games and the owners are there, and you know the American fans were upset. And we're talking about where's the money and stuff like that. So that's theory number one. Theory number two is that they just played a smart game. They knew all along that they had a bit more money. They didn't want to play their hand, and they just kept it close to their chest. And actually, if you I was working it out the other day with selling Iwobi right at the end of the transfer window, they have actually still ended up spending net spend probably only about 50 odd million, 60 million pounds. So they've done some great business, and I think the fans now are really excited. I mean, we're not going to get to see, a lot of the players that we've bought here at St James's Park. I very much doubt. I mean, I don't think Nicolas Pepe will play, but once everybody's fit and it's like Lacazette, Nicolas Pepe, Aubameyang, I mean, that is frightening for any team. So looking forward to the season. Even the defence is still got problems, but with Tierney coming in there, if Bellerin comes back, if you've got like David Luiz, I think that for £8 million was a steal, and to nick him off of Chelsea as well, I think we've got. I think the defence will be better. It still needs more. It still needs fixing. There's still problems there, but it might be better than it was last season. And I'm looking forward to the game. And we got to fix what really cost us last season was our away form. If you look at Arsenal at home, really, really strong, really hard to beat. I think only was it City and Palace beat us at home. Really strong at home, but away from home, very, very poor. And if we can get off to a good start here away from home, that'd be fantastic.
A lot of the Newcastle fans are obviously still against the owner, Mike Ashley. Now that Arsenal have invested a bit of money, is it more lenient towards yours, or is it still it cannot be forgiven just because you've spent a bit of money?
I think at the moment it's not forgiven, but I think at the moment what fans were saying is that they were looking at our owners and saying it don't look like these guys care. We're a big club. We're not operating like a big club. We're not spending big money. We're not going in for big problems, for big players. We're not fixing the problems that we've got. But with this transfer window, I think they've kind of shown that they do care. You know what I mean? And they have, spent money. They've answered a lot of the questions that fans were asking at the time. I wouldn't say they've been forgiven. Fans are still looking to, this is a building process. We know that we're not there, but they've made a very good step. I think in your case, I feel it for your fans. You know what I mean? Because I don't understand why Mike Ashley. I mean, I was there in America, right, when we was in one of the games and the owner was getting stick, right, and I'm like, why would you want to put up with this? Surely just do the right thing for the fans, right? But our owner's in America, so he ain't got to be here on a Sunday. He ain't got to be at Arsenal week in, week out. Your guy's here all the time. I don't know how he puts up with, I don't know where somebody comes from that every single person here wants you to go, and you're still here. You know what I mean? just sell it.
Seems to love to play the pantomime villain, doesn't he?
It's got to be either that he just wants to wind all the Geordies up, which I don't think that's a good idea, or maybe he's making a load of money out of it, which is probably is something like that. And he's just sticking it out until he can get the maximum amount of money. But I mean, I just don't get it. I mean, he runs so many other businesses. I really don't understand why he just sits there and just is happy to take all this grief from your fans, and even I was taken aback when I saw that Steve Bruce was coming in. I know he's a Geordie and that, but Sunderland and stuff like that, I was like, phew. So I think for us, it seems to us like, even though for us we're a bit half cooked because there's a lot of players missing for the game here, but I feel like we're catching you at a good time because we've heard about all the protests and stuff like that, and I'm like, this is a good time to play Newcastle rather than, we know what it can be like coming here to play you guys. So with the fans not too behind the team and stuff like that for the first game, maybe that might be good for us.
Who's going to feature for Arsenal tomorrow then? Because obviously out the new signings, you've said Pepe is probably not going to make it. Kieran Tierney's a couple of weeks off fitness.
Yeah.
David Luiz, is he going to feature? Alexander Lacazette?
I get the feeling, I think David Luiz should be all right. He's been playing loads of pre-seasons for Chelsea. Lacazette picked up a little injury in pre-season, and I'm not sure, it's not a serious injury, but I'm not sure he's going to be ready for this game. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's missing. And then Nicolas Pepe, Tierney, Saliba's gone back anyway, so he definitely ain't featuring.
New guy from Real Madrid, middle of the park.
Yeah, I think out of the new guys, Ceballos, you might get to Gabriel Martinelli, who's looked very good. He may be on the bench, maybe. But I think it's going to be more or less a lot of the old, the original players that will play. I mean, because I just feel that a lot of those players that we bought in, they're not ready yet. Like Pepe was at the African Cup of Nations. When we bought him, he was just literally coming back to Lille, you know what I mean? So he's had no pre-season whatsoever. So I can't see him starting, or I can't even see him being in the squad.
Ozil, thankfully, doesn't look like he's going to feature because he always seems to do well against Newcastle. He always seems to get a goal. And
that's a shame, and it's really weird, this ongoing problem where, I'm sure you saw it where, they tried to rob him and with Kolasinac and I've been hearing that, it all came out yesterday and I'm not travelling, and everybody's like, well, why? But from what I'm hearing is that it looks like these guys might have tried to come back, or they've been making death threats and things like that. This is all speculation. I don't know for definite. It's just a rumour that I've been hearing.
And can be the only reason, though.
Yeah, and then maybe these, you can understand it. They'd be worried for their families because these, a lot of people be like, yeah, we want 100 grand a week, get security in, but. Listen, your mind's not going to be right if you're worried for your families, especially, you're all the way in Newcastle and your family's back in London. I know Ozil just recently got married, so, we got to understand these things, but it's a big blow that, Ozil won't be, because again, he's looked decent pre-season, and this is a big season for him, I think he has no excuses this season, Ozil, with the firepower that's going to be up in front of him.
Now, I messaged you in the summer when I was in Greece. And the takeover tour, all broke, saying Newcastle were going to be the next Manchester City. Mourinho was on his way in, and Mbappe was going to be the first signing.
Yeah, I remember that. And
we've ended up with Steve Bruce and Andy Carroll. So,
well, I'll tell you what. I'm glad that Andy Carroll. When you guys re-signed Andy Carroll, I was like, oh no. That guy, he always scores against. He always bullies Arsenal.
Perfect for Arsenal.
When I saw that he's still weeks away from being fit, I was like, thank God, man, because he'd be injured all the time for West Ham, and then we play him, and then he'd be back fit, and he'd just terrorise us. You know what I mean? So, I'm glad he's not playing, to be honest.
With what's happening at Newcastle, and Mike Ashley, Steve Bruce, a few signings, where can Newcastle finish this year?
It all depends, man. It all depends. What it's like with new signings is how they gel in. I think, last season Rafa Benitez, his sort of manager, teams are always hard to beat. So I never thought that Newcastle would go down under Rafa Benitez. I thought Rondon up front was an excellent player. So I always thought that they always have enough. Now under Steve Bruce, I don't know, man. I was thinking, like, looking at it and thinking the teams I'm looking at will probably be Norwich, Sheffield United, the two new guys that have come up. and then probably Brighton. But Brighton today, they've got to. It's only one game, but I think Newcastle are going to be. I don't think Newcastle are going to go down, but I think they're going to be up against it this season, purely for the fact that Rafa Benitez is such a top quality manager, knows how to organise teams. I mean, look at the trouble you gave to teams like Man City and that last year. Not even we could do. So I'll be a little bit worried for Newcastle. I hope Newcastle don't go down, because I always love coming here. It's a huge club. We want, you need teams like you guys in the Premier League. But I'll be a bit worried because Steve Bruce. I don't know, man. Is he one of your own anymore?
He went to Sunderland, but if he had went to Sunderland and he was a world-class manager and won trophies, wouldn't be too bothered. But he went to Sunderland and then he went to the Championship. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's the thing. And I'm like, that's a strange appointment. And I just look on it and I'm like, when Rafa Benitez went, why not go and get one of these sort of young, hungry, up-and-coming managers, or somebody that's going to come and really, at least if you, what I can't understand with the Mike Ashley, what he's done here, right, is at least, all right, the fans hate you, but bring in a manager that the fans are going to be like, well, wow.
Aye.
And that deflects everything away from you. That's what Rafa
That's what he
did.
did with Rafa.
Yeah, and I'm like, you've come and brought in another person that the fans are not behind. So now they're going to be on him and on you. It's weird. It's really weird, but these guys, their minds are different to ours. Man. I don't know, maybe he's just a wind-up merchant. I don't know.
He definitely is. Back the game tomorrow. What are you saying, prediction-wise?
Prediction, I'm going to just because of the little bit of turmoil that you guys are in at the moment, I think we'll win it. I'm going to go for Arsenal winning 2-1. Aubameyang, I think, is going to be the key player. He's been on fire pre-season, and I just think he'll do bits here again. So it's going to be a bit of a mismatched Arsenal team, but then there's supposed to be a lot of the regular faces in there that know each other and that, so that might be even better than starting off with a load of new players anyway. So I'll go Arsenal 2-1.
All right, hope you're wrong. Cheers for your time, mate. Thank you.
Nice one, man.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.